All right, so are you ready for this?
Always.
Okay, good. Because today's deep dive is going to be all about AI and the future of jobs. And let me tell you, some of these articles you sent over seriously had me like rethinking my whole career path.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Like we're talking about how AI could actually lead to more jobs, not less. It
Hmm.
sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, it kind of does go against the whole, you know, robots are going to take our jobs narrative.
Exactly. But like the numbers don't lie, and we've got some pretty compelling evidence from these articles.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what about that whole AI hiring boom thing?
Yeah, exactly. Marc Andreessen.
Oh, yeah, the venture capitalists.
Yeah, exactly. He's predicting a massive surge in hiring. And get this, it's driven by AI itself.
Well, yeah, it makes sense when you think about it.
How so?
Well, even the most advanced AI still needs humans to, like, guide it, train it, feed it the right data.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like having a superpowered apprentice, but that apprentice still needs the master craftsman to show it the ropes,
Sure.
you know?
Okay, that's a really good analogy.
Thanks.
So it's not just about replacing humans, it's about creating these entirely new roles and collaborations between humans and AI.
Exactly. And that's where things start to get really interesting.
Oh, how so?
Well, you sent over that article about the data bottleneck.
Yeah.
Well, experts are saying that, the publicly available data
Yeah.
that we use to train AI, it's finite.
Okay.
And it's predicted to run out sometime between 2026 and 2032.
Wait, so we're going to run out of data to teach AI?
Well, that's the prediction.
Yeah.
So what happens then?
That's where companies are going to need to get really creative.
Okay.
And to do that, they're going to need to hire more people.
More people. I thought we were talking about AI taking our jobs.
Right. But to overcome this data bottleneck, we need humans, especially those with, specialized knowledge and expertise.
So you're saying that this data bottleneck could actually lead to companies hiring even more highly educated professionals?
Exactly. Like imagine programmers, doctors, lawyers, even artists, all working to create, refine, and curate the data that fuels AI. Wow. Okay. So basically, if you're a highly skilled professional, AI might actually make you more valuable, not less.
Precisely. And we're already seeing this reflected in the job market.
Really?
Oh, yeah. AI-related jobs are exploding,
Like in what fields?
especially in fields like tech, software development, and finance. Remember that article you sent about software development job postings?
Yeah.
Well, in August 2024, AI jobs accounted for over 5% of all those postings.
That's huge.
It is,
So anyone out there thinking about a career change or upskilling AI is clearly a hot area to be in.
without a doubt.
And you know what else is interesting?
What's that?
This whole remote work trend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. About 12% of AI jobs are now offered remotely.
Which is awesome because it opens up a ton of possibilities for both companies and job seekers.
Absolutely. Companies get access to a global talent pool,
Right.
and you get the flexibility to work from wherever you want.
It's a win-win.
Definitely. And you know what else is changing the game?
Way.
AI is changing the way we hire.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently 81% of companies are planning to use AI for things like resume screening and initial interviews.
Wow, so AI is literally changing the game at every level of the job market.
Yep, it's not just about the jobs themselves, but also how we find them and how we work.
It's kind of like AI is weaving itself into the fabric of the whole employment landscape.
It really is. And, one of the articles you sent highlighted S&P Global.
The financial services giant.
Right. And they're implementing generative AI for some pretty complex tasks.
Yeah, they're using it for everything, like data analysis and research, even generating reports.
Exactly. It just goes to show that AI is becoming essential for all kinds of businesses, not just tech companies.
And the fact that companies like CoreWeave are raising billions to build the infrastructure to support all this AI development tells you that this isn't just a passing fad.
No, it's a fundamental shift in how we work, and it's here to stay.
Okay, so we've talked about AI creating more jobs than it's eliminating the increasing importance of human expertise, the rise of remote work, and the massive investments pouring into AI infrastructure.
That's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to digest. But before we move on, I think it's important to step back and ask, what does all of this mean for the average person? Like, how do we actually prepare for this AI-driven future?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It is. And, the answer might be simpler than you think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all about learning, adapting, and evolving.
So basically like Darwin's theory of evolution, but for the job market.
Exactly. Those who are willing to adapt to this new landscape are going to thrive.
While those who cling to the old ways might get left behind.
Right. And, that brings up a good point.
What's that?
The skills that are going to be most valuable in this new world aren't the ones that can be easily automated by AI.
So we're talking about things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Those are the skills that set us apart from machines.
Right. Because AI might be able to crunch numbers and analyze data faster than we can.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But it can't replicate that human spark of creativity, or the nuanced understanding of human emotion.
Nope. And that's why I think this whole thing with AI is actually pushing us to be more human.
More human.
Yeah, to like double down on what makes us unique.
Okay, that's a pretty profound thought.
It is. And it highlights the importance of lifelong learning.
Because the job market is changing so rapidly that we need to be constantly adapting, upskilling, and expanding our knowledge base.
All the time.
It's not enough to just learn one skill and coast on that for your entire career anymore.
Nope.
We need to be curious, adaptable, and always willing to learn new things.
Exactly. And you know what might help?
What's that?
Think about the areas where AI is still struggling. Where are the gaps that humans need to fill?
Well, from what I've read, AI still has a hard time with tasks that require complex reasoning or understanding, subtle social cues,
Yeah,
navigating ambiguous situations, things like that.
exactly. And it's also not great at things that require physical dexterity or, real creativity.
Okay, so if I'm thinking about future-proofing my career, I should focus on developing those skills that AI can't replicate.
That's a good strategy, yeah.
And, one of the articles you sent over also talked about this idea of AI literacy.
Oh, yeah, that's becoming super important.
Because it's not about becoming a data scientist or AI engineer.
Not necessarily, no.
It's just about having a basic understanding of how AI works, its capabilities, its limitations.
Right. It's like being able to speak the language of AI, understand its potential impact, and, maybe even play around with some of the tools and technologies.
Yeah, exactly. Like even just dabbling in some of that stuff can give you a feel for how it works.
For sure. And don't be afraid to experiment and get hands-on.
There are so many resources out there.
Tons of free resources and online courses.
It's like learning a new language. The more you immerse yourself, the more comfortable you become.
I like that analogy.
Thanks.
And, it's not just about job security.
It's not.
No, it's about understanding and harnessing the power of one of the most transformative technologies of our time.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of human-centered skills, lifelong learning, and AI literacy.
We have covered a lot of ground.
But let's get practical. What are some actual steps people can take to prepare for this AI-driven future?
Well, first off, I think it's crucial to identify your passions and interests. Like, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? What problems are you interested in solving?
So it's like figuring out where your unique skills and interests intersect with the possibilities of AI.
Exactly. And once you have a sense of direction, you can start exploring how AI can be a tool to enhance your work, solve problems, or create something new.
And don't be afraid to reach out to people who are already working in the field.
Right.
Like attend conferences, join online communities, network with people who are passionate about AI.
Exactly. There's a whole community of people out there who are excited about this technology.
And eager to share their knowledge and experience.
For sure. So tap into that collective intelligence and learn from each other.
That's a great point. And, it all goes back to something we talked about earlier.
What's
this idea that AI is creating more jobs than it's destroying.
right? It really is flipping the script.
It is. And it's because AI is evolving so rapidly.
It's constantly changing.
And as it becomes more sophisticated, it's freeing up humans to focus on those higher level tasks.
The ones that require creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence.
So instead of fearing AI, we should see it as a partner.
A tool that can help us amplify our own abilities and achieve things we never thought possible.
I like that. And that brings us to a really interesting point.
What's that?
Yeah, it does feel like we've been talking about AI in this really practical sense.
Yeah?
Like, how's it going to impact our jobs? What skills we need?
Right.
But, this whole idea that AI is actually helping us become more human, that's pretty deep.
It is. It really forces us to think about, what makes us unique.
Yeah.
What our strengths are, what our role is in this world where machines are becoming, more and more capable.
It's like AI is holding up a mirror to humanity and saying, okay, now what are you going to do with all this extra brain power?
I like that. And, it leads to some really interesting questions.
Yeah, it does.
Questions about the future of work, the future of creativity, even the future of, what it means to be human.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you really think about it.
It is.
And, it's exciting too, but we've talked a lot about the potential benefits of AI,
Yeah,
but what about the potential downsides?
that's a good point.
Like the articles you sent over touched on some of the concerns people have,
Mhm.
like job displacement and the ethical implications of AI.
Yeah, those are definitely valid concerns. We need to acknowledge that, with any powerful technology, there's always the risk of unintended consequences.
Okay, so it's not about being afraid of AI.
No, not at all.
It's about being aware of the potential pitfalls and working towards mitigating those risks.
Exactly. And I think that starts with, education and open dialogue. The more we understand about AI, its capabilities and its limitations, the better equipped we'll be to guide its development and use in a responsible way.
So what can our listeners do to actually be a part of this conversation and help shape the future of AI?
Well, first and foremost, educate yourself.
Yeah.
There are so many resources available online in libraries, even in your own community.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Read books, watch documentaries, take online courses. Whatever works for you, just become an AI enthusiast.
I love that. Become an AI enthusiast.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Talk to people who are working in the field, attend conferences, join online forums. The more you immerse yourself in the world of AI, the more informed you'll be.
Yeah, it's like anything else. The more you learn, the more you realize how much more there is to learn.
That's so true, and AI is such a constantly evolving field, so there's always something new to discover.
So to wrap things up, I think the main takeaway from our deep dive today is that AI is not something to be feared. It's a powerful tool that has the potential to revolutionize our world in countless ways.
It really does, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Uh,
It's up to all of us to ensure that AI is developed and used ethically and responsibly, and that starts with being informed, engaged, and willing to ask tough questions.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hmm.
So the future of AI, it's not predetermined. It's something that we're all creating together right now.
That's right.
And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be the one to come up with the next big breakthrough in AI.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. So to all of our listeners out there, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep learning. The future is waiting to be written.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. And as always, we encourage you to continue the conversation on your own. Thanks for listening.